Hello and good morning, good evening to you, wherever you are listening to from around the world. And welcome to the Mr. Freemason channel and another live. Thank you for joining me. We have an action-packed show for you today. And in today's stream, we will be covering ginodacampo. We will also be covering the Munich car attack that happened in Germany. We will be looking at Stormy and McDonald's. And also today, which is the 13th. So today is the 13th of February on a Thursday, 2025. So I'd like to firstly thank you all for joining me. As we do as always, we'll do a roll call just to see where everybody's listening in from. So if you want to drop down in the chat section where everybody's listening from, and we'll get set up ready for today's show. So like the topics that I've said, we will be covering ginodacampo, the Munich car attack in Germany, Stormy and McDonald's, today. Always here at the Freemason channel, we like numerology, and we will be always taking into consideration the numbers that follow, which are 3, 6, 9, the number 11, 13, 19, 22, 23, and last of all, number 33. So since the last live stream, there's been a few events that have happened. Obviously, a lot's happened in the past few days, and we'll be going through and breaking them down into numerology and how the matrix code reveals to you why certain things happen on certain days and times and to certain individuals in certain years. Also, we will also be bringing on, I beg your pardon, our special guest for this evening on our live stream. He's been a guest before. It is Zombieland Variants, aka Audio Oracle. So he will be covering the same topics that I've said, and maybe one or two extra more. And he'll be giving you the gematria side of things. So here at the Mr. Freemason channel, we like to cover numerology, Freemasonry, rituals, news articles and crime, and how they kind of coincide with numerology and what the numbers reveal to you. So I will go into a couple of stories first, and then we will bring our guest up, Zombieland Variants, and he will break down his side of gematria with the same kind of topics that we are covering today in today's stream. So I will jump straight into the video and get on with today's stream, and we will start to break down the decode numerology. So unfortunately for ginodacampo, he found himself in the headlines. And this was regards to allegations that, strangely enough, dated back 12 years. Now, in numerology, we know that 12, the number 12 is 1 and 2. Added together gives you the single number and digit of the number 3, which, as I've just run down the numbers, 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, 19, and so on. It is your first number 3 with regards to ginodacampo. Now, in today's live stream, there's going to be a number that comes up quite profoundly, and this is the number 7. The number 7 is related to the genius, the 7th letter of the alphabet being G. An example of this is Stephen Hawking, one of the most intelligent men that was on the planet. He was born under 7 energy. Although geniuses are known to be very intelligent and sometimes inventors, they lead a very lonely life because of their intelligence. They're highly intelligent people, like I've said. These are the kind of people that just need a few breadcrumbs to kind of work out what the solution to a problem is, where most people would need a whole bakery. So that just kind of gives you an example of what extent and what level and how intelligent people who are born under the number 7 are. So turning our attention to Gino. Gino's actual real name is Gennaro, which is spelled Gennaro, and that equals 7 letters. And Decampo also equals 7 letters. Now, we will also be moving on further into the stream a bit later on down the line and looking at Stormzy and his new McDonald's advert. And you will find that numerology linked to Gino and the timing of it within regards to a short period of time and a week will kind of reflect what the number 7 means in this live stream. So ginodacampo, he was also born on the 17th of July 1976, which would make him a dragon. And we've just come out of the dragon year on January the 29th into a snake year, which would be the enemy sign of the pig, which is Elon Musk and Logan Paul. And as we look at the news and take a look at Elon Musk, we can see that things aren't going too well for him at the beginning of the year already. And like we said in a previous stream and a prediction, that Elon Musk is going to feel the brunt of his enemy sign this year, and you will see Tesla and Dogecoin cryptocurrency be reflected in that. Now, the fact that Donald Trump's actually moved him into an office down the road from the White House and not in the same White House as him should be a bit of an indication to you as kind of what's going on. Also, the information that came out about Gino was actually on the 7th of February 2025. So there's another 7 for you there. And if we take the date, the 7th of February 2025, and we add that all together, and then break that down into a single digit by adding the 2 numbers that is the result of that, it actually gives us number 9, which is the same year that we're in, 2025, which is the number 9, which is to do with cycles ending and also beginning. So in a year of 9, you will tend to find a lot of historical events in the world will happen. An example of this, and also in a snake year, I believe the enemy sign, I think, was a pig at the time, is when the Twin Towers happened in 2001. So that was the last time it was a snake year, I believe, and the snake is known for shredding its skin, which is why in snake years, and especially in a 9 year, what you've seen so far with regards to aeroplanes, attacks, and other events, sadly, are only going to increase. Now, if we turn our attention to Munich, Germany, and the attack that happened today, we'll take a look at the word Munich and Germany. You'll find that them 2 words together, the letters add up to 13, which is strange because today is the 13th. The 13th letter of the alphabet is also M, and Munich starts with M. We were told, first of all, that there were 20 people who were injured. Now, in numerology, we know that 20 is not a number that is carried over or defined in numerology. The only number 2 that exists is the second day of the month. 20 is actually broken down into 2 ones, so this would be an 11. So, as I've stated before at the very beginning of the stream, with the numbers 3, 6, 9, 11, 13, and so on, there's another number 11 for you. The number 11 and the number 1 came up quite frequently at the beginning of the year because there was 2 attacks on the 1st of January. There was also another attack that happened on the 29th of January, and 2 and 9 equal together gives you the number 11. So you can see how these all kind of coincide with the number 11 and the number 1. Whenever there's kind of attacks, and especially surrounded by mystery and superstition, there is definitely the number 11 in there, and also the number 1. Because as I move on, you're about to see the number 1 pop up yet again. So the further reports this afternoon was that there wasn't 20 injured, but now in fact 28. So if we add 2 and the 8 together, it gives us number 10. We never carry zeros in numerology because they don't carry any energy and they're negative numbers, therefore we drop them. Therefore, yet again, in yet another attack, and the first letter being A of the alphabet standing for attack, the same as Axel Rudabakana, the same as there was the attack in with Donald Trump and the Tesla outside the Trump there was the Tesla car that caught fire outside the Donald Trump Hotel. That was on the 1st of January. And there was also another attack, I believe it is the Magdeburg, Germany market. I believe that was also on the 1st that happened. And then obviously you had another attack that happened on the 29th. Also, the car that was involved was a Mini Cooper. Mini also begins with the letter M. So you can see on 13 days, they love to put things in the news articles and they love to create events that are surrounded by the letter M. So we will move on to Stormzy in a minute and his advertisement with McDonald's. So as I said, we covered Gino with regards to number 7. Gennaro, his first name is 7 letters. Decampo, 7 letters. The news came out on the 7th of February 2025. That's a 9-day. We're in 2025, which is a 9-year. Ginodacampo was also born on the 17th of July. 1 and 7 equals 8. So Ginodacampo came from a very poor background, only to then become rich and have a fortune. And we know that Ginodacampo came from a very poor background because if you haven't watched the other channel that I cover, which has just gone viral, that covers news and crime, we covered Ginodacampo and we exposed that he actually broke into Neil Young's house and stole his guitar. In fact, I actually believe that the guitar that Ginodacampo stole, but you'll have to double check this, don't take my word for it, was actually to the value of £70,000. So there's just another 7 for you. So the day of 13, which is a homage day to the Freemasons, the 13th letter being M, Masons stand for M. Money also starts with M. So it is a homage number and a homage day. This is where the phrase unlucky for some and Friday the 13th comes from, because it goes all the way back to Paris and to do with the Knights Templar, which is why you found that a few years ago there was also an attack that happened in Paris on Friday the 13th. So we will move our attention to Stormzy, and I'll break down some of that and then we will introduce our guest. Else prevails. So we'll just skim through and we'll go to Stormzy. So to break down Stormzy in numerology, and this is also where the link, not to Gino himself, but just in regards to numerology. So Stormzy was born on the 26th of July, 1993. Stormzy was born under a rooster energy of 1993. Roosters are known for being very aggressive, which would explain Stormzy's attitude. They're quite renowned and known for fighting. They're very defensive and quite protective, which is a positive side. Stormzy was also born in July on the 26th, which makes him a Leo. Leos are very well known for seeking attention. They love attention. And if Leos don't get the attention, they will go elsewhere. They will. Stormzy also Stormzy is 7 letters. Stormzy's real name and first name is Michael. Michael is also 7 letters. If you haven't already and seen the advert for McDonald's by Stormzy, that actually was, I think it came out yesterday, but it's only kind of been on the internet today, so to speak. When I looked at the numbers involved in the date of today, I was quite surprised that he didn't release it on a 7-day, so to speak. 7 is also linked to the musician. The reason being is there's 7 keys on a piano, pardon me, and then 7 keys run from the letter A to G. There's also 7 days in a week, 7 colours of the rainbow, 7 deadly sins, and so on. So in Stormzy's advert, it was actually, with regards to, although it was, I believe it was only released it might have only just been released at 12 o'clock last night, to be honest with you, because I've only been made aware of this and someone sent this to me today. And I thought this was a bit strange because I thought, bearing in mind the number 7, why was this not released on a 7-day? Well, I then took the date of today, which is the 13th of the 2nd, 2025. And when you add them numbers all up together, it gives you the number 16. And 1 and 6 in numerology equals the number 7. In the advert of McDonald's, Stormzy talks about ordering 9 chicken McNuggets, which coincides with the year 2025 being a 9 year as well. McDonald's as well is also 9 letters. Chicken is 9 letters. And nuggets is 9 letters. And people want to say numerology doesn't exist. So, with that all being said, if our friend Mr. Zombieland Variants wants to come up and take the stage for a bit, he's going to break down Gematria side of things for you. And some of the information that he's got is definitely it's a mind blower. Let's put it that way. So, Mr. Zombieland Variants, if you're backstage, are you ready to come up, my friend?
Right,
yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 we can hear you loud and clear. I'm just going to drop the music down a sec. Give me 1 sec, sorry, just so we can hear you nice and clearly.
Yeah, sure. If you need me to speak up or anything, let me know.
No, you're all good.
All right, fantastic.
1 sec. There we go, it should be okay. Go ahead, fire ahead.
All right, I'll quickly start off with Gino, and then we'll go to Stormzy, yeah? Because it's only takes me about it's only take me like not even a minute to do the Gino bit, and then we'll go to Stormzy, which is a bit more lengthy. To be fair.
Right. Go ahead.
Again, shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for being here today into tonight's transmission, and also thanks to Mr. Freemason for having me on. Doing a little combo.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
There's always ways and means, my friend. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't stop us. They can't stop us.
Ain't no stopping us.
No, I was thinking more Kendrick. I was thinking more Kendrick Lamar. They ain't like us, but there we go.
Yeah, that could work as well. But yeah, I remember. I don't know. It might have been about 1.5 to 2 years ago. I did a decode there was like a cannabis situation with Gino. So I thought it was interesting when this, sexual allegations and all that stuff came out the other day. So anyway, now the news broke on February the 6th. So Feb 6, 2025, this allegation broke, which was the 37th day of the year, right? And also 6 months, 3 weeks, bang on the nose from his last birthday, which is on 17th of July, right? So from 2024, 17th of July to when the news broke on Feb 6, 2025, it is 6 months, 3 weeks. And remember, Feb 6 is the 37th day of the year. Why is that interesting? His last name, Decampo, equals 37. Gino equals 63. Not only that, his full name, Gennaro Sheffield de Campo, equals 201. We know the Jesuit order, they
Hmm.
love 201. And again, the Jesuit order itself equals 201. And not only that, when's his birthday? 17th of July. That's 177. The Jesuit order also equals 177, like 17/7. And also, interestingly, this year, his life lesson for his upcoming birthday on that day has a life lesson of 33. 7 had 17, 2 and 0, 2 and 5 equals 33. And of course, sex equals 33. And of course, masonry equals 33. So it is interesting that, all these numbers that happen to, follow a person. Again, regardless if it is a scripted event or not, again, we are noticing and following the wax and wane cycles, how the days are polarized, how a person's polarized in nature, when they're born, zodiac sign, where the house is, the sun is, and all that stuff in whatever house, all that type of stuff. And again, just noting what's drawn to the person, right? What's magnetized to them in their life lane, in their slipstream of life, so to speak, regardless of any antics. As we're going to go into Stormzy, which I can clearly tell definitely scripted somewhere along the line, right? It's definitely not organic. Again, I don't think. Again, I'm not going to say Gino's organic. Again, I'm going to say it's some type of humiliation ritual, some type of stuff
Mm.
going on. But as I'm saying to you, there is an organic side, just like I explained before. You have things like Fibonacci code, and obviously we use maths as an instrument to note and measure stuff, right? So again, things like Fibonacci spiral, golden ratio, as I always say, and of course mitosis in the womb, and then going back to the flower of life. And always remember that where we are in this realm, it is based off of patterns and cycles and how nature is. And then of course, the number sequence coming from the cosmos with the cosmic algorithm, but then you begin to realize, is there nefarious activity with the infrastructure, what's been built up? So from the government, from the media, from the time that they release stuff or they do their scripted events like Munich today in Germany, you begin to realize, has somebody now overlaid the code for their own liking and amplified it, and then kind of taking us into their own course of madness, if you may. And then you begin to realize, even if it's not a scripted event, you begin to realize why there's so much knife crime, because obviously not all the knife crime, for example, is a scripted event, right? You know what I mean? You can have the roadman of the ends, whatever, but then you realize, wow, people that have specific names and the numerical value, for instance, knife equals 27, and then the amount of names in knife crimes that I've been following over the years, for nearly 8 years or 9 years now, that will have these numbers pertaining to that specific thing, So again, knife 27, their name's going to probably equal 27. If it was somebody that off themselves, then you would realize, okay, their name equals 47. The word suicide equals 47, or they could have died 4 weeks, 7 days from their birthday, just for instance, you know what I mean? So all of this type of stuff, it is very interesting to take note. So moving on to Stormzy. Give me one moment here. Just getting up my notes, getting up my show notes. Hold up here. And it's very juicy, so you may want to take
One
notes.
thing I will mention just before you move on to Stormzy, just going back to Gino. Exotic Dolls put in the chat section that she said with regards to Gino that he's laid quite. He's no, sorry, it's to do with Stormzy, I believe. Was it Stormzy? Yeah, someone said to do with Stormzy's laid quite low. He's been laid. Sorry, it's laid. Yeah, she said he's been laying low for quite a while. Yeah, the reason that Stormzy's been laying low for quite a while is because this year is the year of the snake, and snakes in the triangulation work with two other animals, which is where the peace sign and the Mercedes-Benz kind of shape comes from. That's how the triangulation works. Where if you look at the wheel of zodiac animals in Vietnamese astrology, you will find that the snake, one of them two other animals that it pairs with, is actually the rooster. So roosters will work well with snakes, and I believe they work very well with oxes, which is quite strange actually, because I'm quite good friends with two people who are both of one of them signs. So if there's anybody out there that anybody knows who's born under the snake energy, latch yourself onto them if you're going to do something, because then people are going to carry positive energy that's then going to reflect on you. So yeah, just to answer Exotic Doll's question there. So yeah, crack on, my friend. Carry on, my friend. Sorry to stop you.
Yeah, that's all right. And just to quickly say, as you say, you know, the rooster and works with snakes. Hey, he definitely works with snakes. Concerning the Jesuit order. Now, off the bat, as soon as I saw this advert with the timing, I said, "My goodness, 1 minute 53." Now, you might find on your phone when you go to it, when you go to play the video, it will be 1:52, or if you go to your laptop, it will be 1:52 when you go to play the video. But with the thumbnail, you can see it's 1:53. So 1 minute 53 is the McDonald's advert situation, right? And before I even give you the first number, just to give people a bit of context, if you don't know what's going on. Okay, so basically, Stormzy's been blasted for. Oh man! Oh god! Why are these people doing this to me right now?
Just
Dude,
to go back, Stormzy's
I need. Yeah, can you just break down the news article? If you can maybe go on another tab, break down the news article when I come back. I've got to deal with this phone call and I'm going to come right back. Just
yeah,
give me
that's
one
okay.
second.
Yeah. All right. So I was just going to go back over. That's okay. I was just going to go back over Stormzy, and Stormzy's advert was with McDonald's. Much like the Munich, Germany attack, Munich starts with M. McDonald's also starts with M. And also, if you'd notice and pay attention to McDonald's and the sign and logo, the M is emphasized. You'll also notice with a lot of restaurants and fast food outlet places, they'll use colors in correspondence to the chakra of the body and where them chakras sit and placed in the body. So ones, just to give you an example, such as colors like yellow, red, orange. You'll find them in McDonald's, Burger King, Domino's, KFC. Some of the colors are in Subway. So anything with regards to food and your stomach or the lower regions, so it kind of correlates and responds to that. So the colors that are in advertisements for fast food companies also relate to the chakras that tend to be from the rib cage downwards, which will be yellow, orange, and red. So, yeah, it's just interesting a few things that he said there, regards to Stormzy, and regards to Stormzy being a rooster. So what you will find with Vietnamese astrology is whatever year that we will be in. So last year was the year of the dragon. Strangely enough, Gino was also born under the year of the dragon, which is why after January the 29th, when we changed over into year of the snake, Gino's luck ran out. So you will find it is what they call triangulation. So you will find, depending on what animal year it is, you'll always find that there will be two other pairing animals in the animal chart. Now, if you look at the wheel and the wheel basis of the charts, you will find that this is every 3 months. So it will be the 4th month. So you will find for this year, like I've said, is year of the snake. Snakes work very well with roosters. I believe the other sign is also the ox. Don't quote me on it, but you have to check for yourself. And like we said, we're in the year of the snake. The enemy sign is a pig. Elon Musk, born 1971, year of the pig. Things aren't going too well for him at the minute. Also, Logan Paul, born 1995, year of the pig. So this just goes to show you how animal signs work with each other as well as against each other. So I believe our friend Mr. Zombieland Variance is back, so we'll bring him back up to the stage.
All right.
How you doing?
Thank you so much.
That's okay.
Yeah,
no worries.
Sorry
Did nature call?
No, basically, well, kind of, but basically, you know, like you've been about all day, and then as soon as you're doing a specific thing, now people want to need to phone you and text you and doing, classic. You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. That's called the Matrix.
Two people following me.
Matrix,
classic.
my friend. It's called the Matrix. When you got absolutely all the time in the world and nothing happens, and as soon as you sit down and do something, the phone rings. Yeah.
Right. So, if you didn't know, Stormzy's been blasted for his hypocrisy for deleting a pro-Palestine Instagram post just as his new McDonald's ad comes out, which was 12th of Feb 2025, right? And then again, I don't know if it was the same day or a couple of days before, you know, he deleted this pro-Palestine post on his Instagram that's been up since 2023, since the madness started out there on October 7th, right? So, anyway, it goes on to say, after critics of Israel called for boycott of firm for feeding the IDF. Of course, that is the Israel Defense Force, right? So again, McDonald's have been giving out free food or feeding, this Israel Defense Force. Now watch this now. Just read some of his posts that was up. That's now gone. So Stormzy said at the time, I hope everybody's good. Some fleeting thoughts. And then it says 1, free Palestine. You got the flag next to that. And then it goes 2, in the future, if there is ever a clear injustice in the world, no matter how big or small, 100 times out of 100, I will be on the side of the oppressed. Then he goes on to say, unequivocally, he goes, as I've always been. Goes on to say, social media is a brilliant way to stand up for what's right. There are also a whole load of other ways to do this, right? And it just goes to show what we're going to show you now, how under the thumb these people are, and that they're all just puppets, some way, shape, or form, and or they are happy to do it anyway. You know what I mean? Even if it was, I didn't want to do that, it's going to look bad on my character and blah, blah, blah. But some of them are polarized in nature where they are happy to do the things that aren't nice and blah, 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 right? So, and before we even continue, do you remember it was about 2 years ago, I covered it by the numbers, and it was in Black History Month. And again, take this into consideration as well. Right now, we're in Black History Month. Black shaming, yeah? Reason being, 2 years ago, Stormzy, basically, when he's going into his house, and he lives in some probably posh cul-de-sac, nice fat gaffs and drums around there, and a nice cul-de-sac, the big gate closed behind when you go in there, automatic, press a button and all that type of stuff. My point is, how many times have the neighbors seen him go into his house? So how the hell did somebody say, I think somebody's burgling, a black guy burgling his house? Really? That Stormzy going into his house. And my point is, but then really that's the narrative that they give us. Yeah? In the sense of, it's just all BS in that sense, right? So my point is, now they give us a 1 minute, 53-second video, and off the bat, Israeli Defense Force equals 153, 1 minute, 53 seconds. Hello? Now, this is the first thing. Yeah.
That's just a coincidence.
It's just a coincidence, of course. Apophenia, sir. I'm just seeing what I want to see. I'm just drawing it to me.
So when you refer to when Stormzy goes into his house and you said that people reported someone breaking in or something like that.
That's the narrative.
Yeah. Do you think that's to kind of reaffirm his agenda of the Black Lives Matter thing that he did?
Yeah. And then obviously if police are going to go and bust into his house, they'd be like, somebody's burgling. But then, he wakes up and he's in his boxer shorts type of thing, comes down.
The humiliation. Yeah. They're just the card. There's a card in the Illuminati card package known as the Jester card. These are the kind of people who are ginodacampo, Russell Brand, the ones that always get the allegations. But
and it's also to reinsert that paradigm of, black people. I mean, black people and police, or police on black people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Same way you had just quickly 2 weeks after you had the George Floyd psyop. Then you had the psyop from the 2 black British athletes that got pulled over. Big story in the UK. Bianca Williams and her husband, the other athlete called Ricardo Williams.
Mm-hmm.
When they got pulled over in their car by the police, if you wasn't smart, you would be like, oh my God, see, they're just pulling over black people. They can't drive a fancy car, BMW or Mercedes or whatever. And they're athletes as well, blah, blah, blah. They had the baby in the car. But the funny thing is, for those that didn't clock, what was the song that was playing in the car? I'm all out of love. I wanna be with you. Now the dub play is when you look up the name of the band, they're called Air Supply. So what is the odds? So again, kneeling on George Floyd's neck, and then going back to other situations like there was one in France 201 weeks before George Floyd. There was a situation like George Floyd in France that happened, and also note George Perry Floyd equals 201. But anyway, of course, you had many years before that, you had, what's his name? Eric Garner. You remember you had the police officer strangling him with a huge 99 on his back. And then if you look up the word racism, the numerical value, that equals 99. Juggle it equals 99. But anywho, yeah. Same old same. But yeah, they just want to keep you in that paradigm, and just marching up the road while they have you on lockdown.
Do you think we should do some sort of? Do you think we should do some sort of collaboration where we bring a guide, a handbook out to numerology and creating events?
Right.
Because I think it would be quite a good book. It would be like a handbook of how to orchestrate stuff by the numbers, because it's getting to the point now where people are kind of picking this stuff up already. So it's almost what's the word I'd use? Insulting. It's almost insulting.
Right. Give me 1 second here. Streaming. Yeah.
So did you have any more on the Munich and Germany attack then? Is there any more information?
I didn't have too much on that, other than today's the 13th, car equals 13. I've got a couple bits more, but it's not in my mind registered. You know what I mean? So when we get there, of course, we'll pile on some of that what we've got there.
There was also wasn't there another attack the other week? I don't think I covered it, but you did. Wasn't there 11 people injured?
11 people.
There's last week.
Was that at the school, Sheffield? Was that at the school, Sheffield? Was that
it was. That was the one, yeah.
Yeah.
There was 11 injured. 11 people injured. That's all I remembered.
Yeah, I think it was that one. I mean, there's just so much of this. That's what I'm saying to you. Again, to the untrained eye, they're just thinking, it's only because, they're letting people in on the boats and all this type of stuff and filling up the hotels, when really there's a whole extra layer of stuff which they just miss, which, goes part and parcel, runs parallel with what we're talking about here. If you amplify at this specific frequency and you're none the wiser, before you know it, at your local nursery, maybe where you live, the 1 o'clock club, you might have some Allah Akbar, somebody driving in, you know what I mean? Why did and it's not scripted from the gang, from the Jesuit order, but this frequency is just getting people to they're just going, next level spastification. That's my point.
Well, it's a misdirection is what it is, and it's drawing people's and the public's attention away from what kind of really is going on. This is what I've explained on the other channel, which has gone viral, is the fact that in the UK that we keep having inquiries. Now, on an inquiry basis, nobody takes an oath and nobody swears on the Bible. And you'll also find that nobody goes to prison. Yet when you commit a crime or you do something wrong, you find yourself in a court where you're being prosecuted and you do go to jail. Okay, so this is the thing that's being exposed. And the reason that the government and Keir Starmer will never look into the stuff that's going on with the Muslim stuff and the gangs is because the religious traits that also Keir Starmer and his people follow, which is not Christianity, is not very far-fetched or that distant from the same kind of practices as Muslims. So the question would then be would they not want to do an inquiry, because then that inquiry would then lead into investigating themselves? The other question that I'd have for the government as well is there any connection or ties between where these poor kids were being supplied to? But most people who watch the channel, including yourself, you will know, because you're a very educated guy and you're quite clued up with this background stuff, that we know that that's a distraction in itself. The boats and everything else is a distraction. These people, they're all their friends are hoteliers and
all of them. Yeah. And you know what I was going to say as well? It even goes back to the other part before we continue with Stormzy. Obviously it happens over here, but of course in America, the sense of that's why they love the drill music. That's why they love the flipping gang banging, music, rap, in that type of part of it, because who's behind the prisons? They're making money. While they're also putting in place all the pieces, so how they can lock down stuff more and digitize, and how to facial recognition and the money and digital this and all of that. You know what I mean?
Back in the early 90s, going into the early 2000s, there was a few music and rap artists that actually came forward and spoke out only in the past recent years. And when they went to go and have a meeting and sign their record contracts, they were actually offered, they were told what the agenda was going to be and what they were going to have to push, which is degeneracy and the breakdown of society, relationships, and obviously taking narcotics. In return, they were actually offered shares in the prison system.
All right.
So that kind of says it all. And then you've got fake people who are what they're called royal actors, which is where the colour purple comes in, which is why a lot of them will wear purple clothing, or there'll be purple symbolism in like music covers. An example, E17, right? The
Right.
re-release of E17, Stay Another Day. It was on a purple cover. You had Kamala Harris in a purple suit. Didn't Donald Trump wear a purple one as well a while ago?
Right.
And this is where it goes all the way back to when you was a kid at school and you learnt about the book called The Colour Purple. The same as Prince released a song called Purple Rain.
Exactly.
What was the other one? There was another one. What was the other one with purple? Oh, Purple Haze.
Right.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, dude, you might have to hold. You're gonna have to hold fort for me. You're gonna have to hold fort for me for about 15 minutes. I need to go away and come back again.
Oh, well, to
So
be honest
sorry,
with you, I'm probably going to wrap things up very shortly.
Yeah, do you know what? We'll just do a
Hour.
designated one. Yeah, we'll do a
I tell you what would
designated
be
one
good, though.
tomorrow or something.
Yeah, it'd be good to come back and do, if not then tomorrow, maybe at
Because
some
it's
point
juicy.
of the weekend, or maybe
This Stormzy one, this Stormzy one is so juicy. Like that 153, that ain't nothing. Like when you hear how it links back to the situation of October 7th, then with his birthday, then with Independence Day of Israel. Yeah, it links all around. It even links back to his upcoming tour on July 4th. And Palestine equals 47. Not to mention the rest with 142 with Palestine. Let me just get that dub plate up here real quick. Palestine was 142. Hold up. Let me just get it on my notes here because it's so juicy. There's more, but
did you just say Palestine equals 47?
Yeah.
What number?
And then
What number president is Donald Trump?
47. And I think, does Trump itself equal 47? I can't remember right now. But the word Independence Day, they have it in America. Independence Day equals 74.
Well, Donald Trump's born on a 4-day. That's why it's about law and order.
Hold up here. It was 142.
That's why it's all about Independence Day on the 4th of July.
Oh, and just quickly as well, from Hamas to when they released basically on the annual, even though it was 2023, but last year, 2024, October 7th to Feb 12th, 2025, with Stormzy McDonalds, 4 months and 6 days. Stormzy equals 46. I mean, trust me, it's just brutal.
I just found it really hilarious that when he kept saying about chicken and chicken nuggets, and just the whole way through the advert is just a reference. I mean, of all things to order, 9 chicken nuggets. We just happened to be in 2025 and 9 years. McDonald's, 9 letters. Chicken, 9 letters. Nuggets, 9 letters.
The Stormzy meal, as they call it, that equals 74. And from his crusty creature birthday, 26th of July, to Hamas, October 7th, is 74 days. Again, when is his tour starting? July 4th. Not to mention, if you write out 9, it equals 42. February, Black History Month, is the only month that equals to 42. And of course, from McDonald's situation date to the annual of October 7th for Hamas is 237 days. 2 times 3 times 7 equals 42. I remember words like boy, colored, nigger equals 42, and along, all the derogatory names and terms. There's so many more, but that's why it's happening right now. So it's perfect timing. But as I say,
this is what's strange, because you've got ginodacampo's born on the 17th of July, right? 1 and 7 equals 8, and Stormzy's born on the 26th. 2 and 6 equals 8. So these are both people that have come from backgrounds with no money. We know that because Gino broke in and stole a guitar. We know Stormzy's didn't have any money in the beginning because he come from the ends. And then both these people have then come into money. But the only problem,
I found it. Sorry, brother, I found it.
That's okay. The only problem with people born under 8 energy is, although they could go from being poor to rich, they can also go back the other way from being rich to poor.
Hold up.
So that's just something to point out.
No, wait. I've got a dub plate that I've just seen in real time. You're kidding me. His birthday leaves 158 days of the year. July 26th and the 4th of the 4th of July. Hold up. I know what I just saw, but I just want to see it again. Oh my god. The 4th of July is the 185th day of the year. So his birthday, 26th of July leaves 185 days of the year. Oh no, it's a reshuffle. Excuse me. Basically,
It's
his
a
birthday.
reverse.
Basically, McDonald's equals 158, and his birthday leaves 158 days of the year. But it's a reshuffle with
Ah,
185 and
yeah,
his
yeah,
tour
yeah.
date. So when I was flicking through my notes, but anyway, last bit I'm going to say because I need to go. The last bit I'm going to quickly say right now is 142 days from the McDonald's situation to his tour date, right? And remember, I already said Palestine's 47. So again, July 4th. But anyway, it's 142 days, and Palestine also equals 142. Give me a break. Terrorist equals 142 as well. Right, guys, I
Is
need
it?
to
Is
go.
it?
I'm so sorry.
Is
I'm
it?
so broken up. No one.
Palestine's 9 letters as well. Funny that.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, I'll let you go. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for
sorry,
coming
man.
on.
We'll schedule this
No,
properly
that's
next time,
okay.
innit? And then,
Yeah, definitely.
sorry,
It's
man.
thank you for
Yeah,
coming on and sharing, obviously, your knowledge with the rest of the viewers. So thank you very much for that. It's
yeah.
been very
And
in-depth.
sorry, everybody. I was a bit in and out, but when I come back next time, it's going to be full on.
It's gonna be fire.
Hopefully, I'm turning my phone off next time. All right, guys. Much love, wholeness.
No worries. Take
All
care.
right,
See you
cool,
soon,
cool,
man.
cool, cool.
Bye.
Nice one, Kismet. Cool.
There you go, Zombieland variants for you. As always, if you haven't checked his channel out, go over and have a look. It's full of really, really informative and a lot of good education and information over there, which were kind of the two numerology and gematria kind of complement each other. So when you kind of see both sides of numbers and how they work with letters and events, you kind of understand how the digital matrix works. Most people wouldn't actually believe that we live in a digital matrix, but these are the people that go to take a journey one day which is different to their normal journey and then wonder why they break down or they get stuck in traffic. So yeah, it's kind of drawn us towards the end of the show, so to speak. I hope everything's been informative to you and entertaining. I hope you've enjoyed the live stream. If you did, make sure that you smash the like button on your way out. If you haven't already, make sure to smash subscribe as well. Be part of the community and join us in the future lives. I have nearly finished a project that I've been working on for the past 3 weeks, very, very hard. It's not a book either, although there is another book coming on its way. The project's actually with somebody else at the minute who's basically just running the final checks and setting the last piece up for me. But once that's done, I'm hoping to give you a big announcement in about the next week to 2 weeks. We've just got the social media pages being set up, also the emails, and just the final product. So I'm hoping you're going to enjoy it and everybody else will. And it's obviously linked and attached to the channel here and the subjects that we cover. So that might give you a bit of a clue. But I'm quite excited for it. I'm sure you will be too when you find out. But until then, take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for joining me. If you'd like to learn more about numerology astrology, there is Breaking the Matrix Numerology Astrology, which is available out on Amazon right now, which covers a lot of the things that we talk about in the stream with regards to numbers and what they mean. It will also give you an insight of what to look out for and some useful information you might be able to pass on to family and friends. Numerology is starting to catch on quite quickly in 2025. I'm going to drop a short video tomorrow, which is just a kind of collaboration of different channels and people who are actually now starting to speak about numerology on a mainstream level, which is good. I've always